I'm kind of a sad panda, and I'll tell you the reason why. I'm kind of a fucking sad panda. But yeah, it's all good. It's not an issue. So let's see here. Oops, there we go. The reason I'm kind of a sad panda is because my Samsung SSD 840 EVO 500GB is failing. Has not completely failed yet, which is the plus side. It's in the process by the looks of it of failing. The weird part is though, on the actual, if you look at the Samsung software itself, it's kind of strange. But the Samsung software is not saying anything about there being a smart failure. But going through the read counts and everything else, and the reverse counts and block counts and everything else, and my drive diagnostic software, which I do love these pieces of software, they are marvelous. Lucky for me, I've got everything else backed up on other drives. So I mean, their main OS drive, if it fails, it fails. Which I don't think it's going to fail. I think it's in the process of failing. It was on the verge, on the cusp. So at this point in time, I thought, fuck it. I have the money. I thought about it logically. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to replace it at some point. If I don't do it now, and it fucks up in the middle of me doing streaming and YouTube and all the other stuff that I do, then I'm probably going to be more shitty and more angry in that process if I don't do it right now. And that's my point. So I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I got the fucking money. Let's fucking do this shit, man. Where the fuck am I? I have no idea. I'm insane. I'm trying to find my earbuds. So I decided, I said to myself, fuck, I want a drive. I want a new drive. Now, when I got this drive, it cost me $275 maybe? Yeah, when I bought it, it was $275. It's not a bad drive, though. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. So, yeah, I thought, fuck it. Since my software is indicating a failure, and it's clear that there is a failure with the drive, as you can see, failed, self-health status failed, and it shows the count issue right there. I then went on eBay, and I thought, fuck it, let's get a drive, bitch. So I got one of these. These Crucial drives are supposed to be pretty damn good. They get a pretty good rating. They have 100% feedback, and there's 9 reviews on them, so I thought I was doing pretty well with the pricing. $220. Ain't gonna gripe over $220. It's cheaper than the original drive that I ever bought for my system, the first drive I ever bought for my system. So yeah, fucking nice. It's got a better read-write speed than my current SSD, but it looks of it too. It's much higher, and it looks marvelous. It looks nice. It looks pretty. It's very pretty. It's silver. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I have ordered one. I have placed an order. I am currently in the. As you can see, it says view order details. And where the fuck is it? The order details, obviously, yada yada yada, $220, yada yada. That's obviously waiting for it to be delivered, of course. I didn't pick any special deliveries, but I mean, I've never had a major issue with getting, especially because most eBay stuff, especially if it's posted within Australia, it's always tracked. So that's the plus side. All of it's pretty much tracked these days, which is fantastic, by the way. I have had, as I said, Australia Post deliver a couple of things to me, and they've obviously missed the mark and delivered it to the wrong place. But, neither here nor there. I've never had a problem getting electronics. They always come in pretty fast. So, yeah, basically, I've ordered this, and I'm waiting for it to be delivered. It is, the size of it is a 525 or 500 gigabytes, I think. So, I'd say, 525, 500 gigabytes. So basically I've ordered it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see when it arrives. Should be interesting. It's the same capacity as my other one, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. But as I said, I'm a sad panda because I've had this drive for a fair freaking while, and it was a faithful drive. It did a lot. It did a lot for a long time. It was a Samsung branded drive, but it lasted me at least 3, 4, 5 years or more. I mean, probably more than that, actually, longer than that, maybe. I've had this drive for years. I got it a while back, but I've had the drive for freaking years. Yeah. So yeah, now that I'm pretty happy with the end result of that. That I am now getting a new drive, obviously. I didn't expect... Well, I don't expect it to... Well, what I'm going to do... What the plan is, I'm going to clone the drive over. because I don't think this is going to fail before that new drive arrives, because most likely the new drive will arrive next week. And probably sometime next week during the week, I'm guessing. So, you know, I doubt it's going to fail between now and that time, because it's just started to show errors and problems now. So, you know, and this type of program points out that, just says here, it says the threshold has been reached, and it says replacing the hard drive is recommended. So it's recommended. But you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to replace it. Fuck it, there we go. It's being replaced. Simple as that. Simple as that, people. Thought, fuck it, you know, I need to replace the cunt. But it also might explain why my computer has been running a little slow in some cases, you know, in certain situations, of course. But, yeah, it could explain why things have been a bit sluggish at times, and, you know, certain things respond when they don't respond, and, yeah, obviously the hard drive is going to contribute to that. And I have had I will be honest, I've had that SSD a damn long time. And you know what? Just happens, you know, it just fucking happens, unfortunately. But, at the end of it, I've concluded that my best option well, it's so far my best option anyway. So we've got reused reversed block count failed, as you can see. It does recommend replacing the hard drive. And the other side of it too, it doesn't actually say on the actual Samsung software that it's completely failed, or the smart part of it anyway hasn't completely failed. But, you know what, since it's telling me that the threshold and the things that have been reached specifically for the drive, I'm going to trust this software because I have trusted it in the past when I've been doing diagnosis on drives, and it's always been pretty good at predicting failures, or a failure happening, things like that. I mean, you know, normally with most drives, there's an abundancy thing, there's a redundancy thing, you know, checking whether a drive is going to fail or not. I mean, it depends on the drive, of course. But the conclusion I've come to is that, you know, as I said, I don't know, maybe this drive might last a little longer. It might not. It might just die completely. But you know what? I'm cloning my old drive over to my new drive. Simple, simple as that. And away I go. And I'm hoping, I'm actually thinking that it's probably going to improve my streaming. Not just my streaming, but it's probably going to improve a lot of things that I'm doing by doing that. Yeah, I think it's probably the best option. So I'm going to replace that drive very soon. It is, let's see, Samsung SSD 840 Evo, which is, you know, it's basically it was the budget version when I bought it at the time. But I went with Crucial because I know that their brand is generally not too bad. I have not heard any real negative reviews per se online, especially when I've been watching other YouTube reviewers who have done reviews on them themselves. And you know, on top of that, it's gonna have a lot of the new newer NAND memory and things of that nature. So yeah, that's always a plus. I mean, I could have just bit the bullet, you know, and I could have completely bit the bullet and got myself a 1 terabyte drive, but I thought, fuck no, that's just overkill. 500 is fine. 500 does me just fine, and you know, if I want to expand on certain things, I can, which is great, of course. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, I also sold something on eBay as well, which is great. I think yes, somebody just paid me. Woohoo! I'm not rich. It was only like $18, but that should help out with things anyway. So I have to send that, and I've got it right here beside me. I don't know, maybe I haven't. I swear I did. I probably got it. No, here. No. Hold on. Here it is. Where are you, my friends? I said before. Where's the other fucking one I had? That's probably in the garage. I have to go and find it anyway. Oh no, there it is. I found it. Okay, found it. Never mind. I found the cunt right here. Here it is. Here's the cunt. So here's the game that I'm going to be selling. I have to print up a postage label for it, obviously. Aside from printing up postage labels, aside from other things, but anyway, we'll see how we go. So that's the game I'm selling. Right, sold. I've already got payment for it, I just have to post it. So yeah, So, let's see, that's failed. Well, obviously that's failed, so I'm gonna have to. Oh, my back! That's cracking my back. Obviously that's freaking failed, so I'm gonna have to wait. See how I go. At this point in time, I know it's failed, so I was running an error check on it. I mean, probably, look, put it this way, I'm pretty sure that it's telling me, it has told me that it's pretty much it's in the process of failing. It's indicated replacing the hard drive is recommended. So, you know, I thought, fuck it, since I had the money, I don't have a problem replacing it at this point. All my bills are paid up so far. Got some bills coming at the end of the month, but that's alright. I get more money before then anyway, so that's not the issue. Anything else that I wanted extra, so I can get stuff out of the next stuff I do end up doing anyway. So, and the other side of it too is I'll get repairs in between that as well. So you know, eventually it fills out anyway. But on the plus side, I'm hoping that I'm hoping initially in my own mind that by me replacing it now, I'm going to improve my streaming and I'm going to improve a lot of my encoding times and my other stuff, because I think the hard drive was in the process of probably getting there nearly pretty close to failure, but that could be some of the reasons I've been having little glitches and little things happening when they shouldn't be happening, and I think that's most likely the reason why. I'd say definitely in my mind. So as I said, when it comes to my YouTube stuff and all my stuff that I end up doing, this is my point. I don't mind putting money back into it, especially if I really enjoy it. It's something I enjoy too. On top of that, I do a lot of massive amount of work on this machine, so I need it to be, you know, in pretty tip-top shape. The other thing too, I mean, look at all my other drives. Okay, and okay. The only drive that has the issue is my main drive, which is clearly in the process of failing. So, you know, it's actually lucky that I got the warning that I did. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest, because now I know, and I was able to replace it. So, yeah, all good. On top of that, I'm making more success of YouTube now, so, you know, I'm going to need this machine to be in top working order anyway, so, you know. Everything else on the machine is good too. I mean, my video cards and everything else are working fine. Well, everything else is, you know, humming along nicely inside my system. I've recently, or a little while back, I ended up replacing the motherboard and the RAM. Those two things I ended up replacing. So those don't really need replacing for a fair while. And everything else is functional as well, including cooler's fine, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's pretty gnarly in here, mate, you know. But yeah, no, it's all good. Considering that it's just that basically that one drive that's failing, pretty lucky on my part, you know, that I picked it up early. That's my point. because I had an inkling and a feeling when it started, then things started to act up this morning a bit with lag and other things that have been happening lately. Thinking, something's not right here. And then I rebooted my machine and it came up with saying there was errors on the drive. And I'm like, what the hell? That's rare. I rarely get fucking my drive, my SSD telling me it has errors. So I was like, fuck it, okay, I'm going to check my diagnostic software and I will determine what's going on. And like, ooh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, I get it. So, screw it. Screw it all, bitches. I ended up buying my drive. I ended up buying a new drive anyway. So, yeah. All fun games till somebody loses an eye. So, yeah, great. Just great. That's pretty much where I am at this point. So, yeah. But I am a kind of sad panda for losing the drive, but I expected it because, I mean, it's a fair few years old now. So, you know, it's to be expected. Anyway, I will catch yous. Stay tuned. And I'll actually show that drive next week. I might even do a proper YouTube video for it so I can show what it looks like. Okay, alright, catch you. Bye.